Yes, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Back again with another video. Gonna discuss a couple of reports. Arsenal set to sign two new players, and they're apparently two new goalkeepers. So, I was about to break it in the first statement. And of course, Granit Xhaka is tired of playing for Arsenal, and Saka has been named in the England last 26-man squad. How better can it be? How better can it be? I think that is the best. That's the best news for Bukayo Saka. That's the best reward he can get for being so consistent at his age, for lifting up a club that has been to the dogs this season. Please do me a favor as we get into the video. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you do like the content, and of course turn on the notification bell if you do not want to miss any updates in regards to Arsenal. The beautiful people at OneXpert bring you the videos. They sponsor me, so make sure you do check out their website. If you love betting, please do bet with OneXpert. Link is in the video description. Use promo code Cossy Media, and any deposit you do, your first deposit will actually be doubled twice up to $130. That is how generous they are. But you could also win a couple of prizes like jerseys, smartphones, smart TVs, and many other prizes and bonuses with OneXpert. So let's get into the news today, because there are a couple of stories to discuss really, and I'll start with Gareth Southgate, who is actually called, that is not Gareth Southgate. Okay, wherever. Gareth Southgate has actually called up Bukayo Saka among the 26-man squad that's going to be a part of the Euros 2020 or Euros 2021. I don't know why they call it the Euros 2020. And speaking about him, Southgate said sometimes young players can go into teams that are really playing well and flourish. He's gone into a team that has had a tough season and has really played with character as well as skill. So that's Gareth speaking about Bukayo Saka, and we cannot add anything to that. We cannot say anything apart from congratulations Saka, congratulations Bukayo. This is the ultimate gift he could get. At times, at times it's unfair for some players like James Maddison. I think Maddison has had a great season, but I'm also very flabbergasted and humbled at the same time that Saka has been named into the England squad. And honestly, the truth is, I think it is purely on merit. I've seen many people advocating for Mason Greenwood, who is out due to an injury, and many people were convinced that Greenwood was a sure deal. Greenwood was a sure case. Then I also thought if Greenwood is a sure case, then Saka, who's had a better season this season, should be a sure case. So Saka in that England squad in the Euros, we wish him the best as our boy, and of course we wish the England team the best in the Euros. I will be supporting Spain, but I wish Bukayo Saka the best and the best. Still moving on. According to Corriere dello Sport, they claim that Granit Xhaka is tired of playing for Arsenal and is ready to go for a new challenge. Roma will go back with an improved bid for around 18 million euros. So that's according to Corriere dello Sport way back in Italy. They're saying that the man himself, Granit Xhaka, is really tired of being on Arsenal, really tired of playing for Arsenal, and hopes Roma actually come back. And according to Corriere, Roma will come back with an improved offer at around 18 million euros. Now, honestly, I think Granit Xhaka, if he says he's tired of being around Arsenal and tired of being around the club, it's balanced energy. I mean, there's so many people who love him, and there's so many people who feel Granit Xhaka should leave the club. So that is where we are. But he's got a lot of criticism, and sometime back he came out and said, you know what, this criticism from the fans is so toxic, and it looks like it is directed towards me. It is not actually objective, it is not genuine. He said so many things in terms of the criticism that is actually coming out on his shoulders. But in my case, I think Xhaka has a point. You could be tired of playing for Arsenal. The criticism could be there, but check yourself, check your discipline. You're one of the senior players at the team. If you're doing the mistakes, small mistakes that could actually be avoided, and they're costing the team, then of course you've got to get the criticism. But I think a deal to Roma is eventually going to happen. The player seems like wants to go to Jose Mourinho. Mourinho loves the player. He's told Roma, by the time we come back, you should have signed Granit Xhaka for me. And I think with Arsenal, Arsenal in all this hurdle of we need to sell, before we buy, I think Granit Xhaka could be one of the players leaving, 100% leaving the club this summer. So let's wait and see if Roma will actually up their bid. What they were looking at, which was a little bit ridiculous, is they wanted to sign the player below 15 million euros, and Arsenal was valuing the player at just 24 million pounds. So what will happen in that transfer deal is all left for us to see. Lastly, Arsenal is set to confirm 2 signings. That's Andre Onana, who is on the verge of joining Arsenal from Ajax. The transfer fee, as we reported yesterday, it will depend on the outcome of his legal battle regarding the doping case, which takes place today, actually, not tomorrow, because that story actually was reported yesterday. Now, NOS in the Netherlands did report yesterday, and I reported the story yesterday, that Arsenal are on the verge of signing Andre Onana for just 7 million euros if his doping ban is actually lifted. And if the ban doesn't get lifted, it would be around 2 million euros. Now, that is, for me, I mean, it's a bargain, isn't it? It's a bargain. But, of course, the reality of this story is Arsenal's first-choice goalkeeper in Bernd Leno has a very, very uncertain future. And that's the reason as why Arsenal will be going in to sign in a new goalkeeper in Andre Onana, who they look at as one of the very best phenomenal talents in goalkeeping around Europe. It's a bit unfortunate for Ajax, because at first they wanted to get around 35 million pounds from the goalkeeper when the likes of Chelsea and PSG and Barcelona were interested in his services. Eventually, with all that has happened, the player is running down into the final bits of his contract. That means they cannot actually generate huge amounts of money, so they'll have to settle for around 7 million euros if the player is cleared, if his name is cleared from the substances he used, because but in his defense, the player says he got the substances from pills that he took when he had a headache, and he says the pills were for his wife, and he says the pills have the same packaging as the painkillers he thought he was taking. So that is in his defense. And we've had look, I don't mean to say he's lying. I don't mean to say that it's not true, or his story, his side of the story is not true. But I've had the story. I've had a similar story before from Rio Ferdinand. When Ferdinand was found with drugs in his body, he said it was more of a, was it Ferdinand, was it Vidic? It was one of a similar story, that he took pills of his wife. I mean, okay, I don't want to attack Andre Onana, because at any point in time, with the current issue of events unfolding, he could become one of the one of the unprecedented summer projects, and one of the Arsenal players, in the meantime to come. So I don't want to actually get hard on him. I cannot really tell that he's taking these drugs to boost and enhance his performances, and I cannot also tell that he actually took the substances from his wife. So we've got to wait and see what the Court of Arbitration for Sport will actually do as a verdict. Will they hold him for a whole year until next year, or will they actually reduce or lift the ban? Now, the other signing that we should make as early as possible, and this has also been confirmed, it's going to be our first signing. That's Matt Ryan. I've spoken about that yesterday, and I've just come here to make sure that you people do not actually think that I speak about stories and run away. Now, our Arsenal are set to get in Matt Ryan on a free transfer from Brighton. This has been confirmed, I think, almost everywhere. and he's gonna be our backup goalkeeper. So it looks like whether Leno leaves or doesn't leave the club, our backup goalkeeper is gonna be Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan will not be our first choice goalkeeper unless either ways. What I think is Arsenal could actually sign Andre Onana for around 2 million euros if the ban is not lifted until next year. Around February. I think that's when the ban expires. So we could sign him for 2 million euros until next year, and then for the opening bit of the season, we could see Matt Ryan as our first choice goalkeeper if Ban Leno eventually leaves the club in this summer. So it's good business. Arsenal could sell Ban Leno for around 27 million pounds or 30 million pounds in this summer, and we could bring in a goalkeeping duo to replace him for less than 3 billion euros. I mean, that happy days. That is real Arsenal doing so good business. I think Onana would be an upgrade, by the way. Onana would be an upgrade to Ban Leno, and you'd have a very nice, good goalkeeper in Matt Ryan, being your backup goalkeeper. There is nothing more you're ever gonna ask of the recruitment department in terms of a goalkeeper. Okay, please do smash a like on the video if you do enjoy the content. Subscribe to the channel if the content is useful to you. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you do not want to miss any video. And lastly but not the least, check out OneXpert. Their link is in the description, and use promo code Cossy Media to win up to $130 on your first deposit.